Hey everyone, Irit here with a new process video for HipKit Club, and today my theme is mixed media and Halloween. So I started with cutting a bunch of stuff from the October cut files. There are really cute stuff there. It's not just Halloween themed, so if you're not into that, check it out anyway. Some are for subscribers, but some are open to everyone if you just create an account on the HipKit Club website. So do that and you'll get free fabulous cut files every single month, whether you are a subscriber or not. So I learned from Missy, and I kept everything stuck down on my Silhouette Cameo mat, cutting mat, after I ran it through my cutting machine to add the mixed media part. And I think it just makes it much easier because things don't shift and move around. This way they are all stuck down, and it's just easier to do this. So I don't actually have on this layout any Halloween themed products, which works really well for me because I don't usually use themed products, and it's just also Halloween is actually something that I live in Europe, in Austria, and I feel like the holiday is getting more popular due to stores pushing it on the consumers. So, because I can just see that when I moved here 7 years ago, there wasn't really anything going on. That is kind of like what I'm used to from American movies in Halloween. What they have here is kind of All Saints Day, and people go to the cemeteries. I think I'm a bad immigrant. I don't really know exactly all the local holidays, but yeah. But the traditional like Halloween stuff, with the scary pumpkins and the costumes and the candy and all that stuff, I have seen it in the last 7 years, like really growing, and just like in stores, basically stores started selling more and more of this stuff like every year. So I'm not sure that it's due to demand. I think there's kind of like these two things are going together. The stores are pushing it, and then people are buying it, and then the stores have more stuff and people buy more stuff. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But actually Ella has Halloween parties, so she does get dressed up for those parties, and I'm going to use a photo of her from last year, and I'm going to actually add it behind the O in the word boo. So you're just going to see her face. I have already scrapbooked those photos, and I just thought it would be really cute to use them like this. So yeah, so the word is boo, and you saw I just used a piece of packaging to add this blue mist that we got in a previous kit, and that beautiful purple paint, Shimmers paint, that came in the September kits. So I'm using the September kits. I already received the October kits, and if you want to see what is in those kits and what I will be playing with in the next weeks, then make sure you check out the unboxing video. I will link it here so you can see that. Now, I wanted to use also to do some mixed media on the background, and I decided that I would cut this spider web to do that, and I used one of the cardstock pieces in the cardstock kit, a color, this dark blue, which is very lovely, but not a color I tend to use on my layouts. So this is one way of using those papers or cardstock pieces that you won't use on your layouts, and I do this a lot. I use them as stencils. If you mist them lightly, you will get several uses out of them. You just don't want to get too heavy-handed with these. You don't want to soak them in water or really put a ton of paint, but if you're kind of gentle with them, they will do just fine, and you can always cut new ones if they get too messed up. So super easy. I'm using the same blue and then the pink mist that came in September, and I mean, seriously, how fast is this, and how pretty. I just love these two colors together. They mix also to make a pretty purple. And yeah, this took no time. It was really fun. And this is kind of my take on a Halloween themed layout with colors that I love and some more traditional elements. So what I also got that I really, really love are those cute little bats. They are so adorable, and I'm going to kind of dress them up a little, if you can say that. But I'll tell you what I did with the letters. I just felt, because I cut everything from white cardstock and my background is also white cardstock, I wanted to help my die cut pieces pop a little bit. So I just went around it with a black pen. Of course, you can do this also with any color you want. I just went with, it's kind of like a metallic black that I have, a Jelly Roll pen. And you can see it makes such a difference. The letters just pop off the background. And I'm using some foam to get a little bit more dimension here, so they're not stuck directly like flush to the background. It just looks better. It helps them pop, and it gives you that little shadow that they cast, which just adds dimension. Just looks a lot better. So yeah, this really, there is actually very little like pre-made product here, which means that you can do this, you know, even if you don't have a lot of products on hand. Now, true that I used a die cutting machine, but you can hand cut also the letter Boo. The details, like the spider webs, that's probably a little bit trickier, but you could try to hand paint the background or like mask some pieces. So you can find like creative ways, or just buy like a stencil with a spider web if you don't have a die cutting machine, and you can create basically the same background. So I'm going to do to these little bats the same thing that I did to the letters, and just outline them. And I'm also going to add just a few details. I mean, how cute is that? I'm going to add a little circle to the center of their eyes. I backed the eye area with some of the pattern paper from the kit. If you don't have pattern paper that you think is fitting, just use white cardstock, or you can color it. Mine is mostly like blue and purple to match my colors, and I'm just adding little details. So you can see that a bit better in the close-up shots at the end, but I added like a few teeth and like eyelids to a few of them, and then the eyes are sometimes in the center, sometimes they're looking to the side. You can really have fun with these cute little bats. And I'm using again some foam adhesive, and I'm just putting it on the center of their bodies, and this way the wings are kind of free and floating around, again adding a lot of dimension to this. I just had so much fun making this. It was just really, really fun with these cute little elements. And yeah, I'm going to use a few of the alphas. You saw I added the Pika part there at the top, and I'm using these lovely thickers that we got in the September kits. They have different colors, and I picked the colors that coordinated with my color scheme, so more the blues and the pinks here. And then I'm also going to add some of the accents from this package of word stickers that also came in the September kit. So I'm not going to use any words here, but I am going to use like all these arrows and some hearts and stars to add just a pop of black and some more decorations there. That's the pack that I'm talking about. I also have, of course, unboxing of the September kits, which they're very used up already. So you can also see that if you want to know what came in those kits. But as I said, I didn't use a lot of pre-made items on this layout. It's mostly white cardstock and then, you know, mists and paints. And yeah, this was just so much fun. So here I'm adding a few details to that bat and at the bottom. And I think this layout would benefit also from a frame. that I would go around with like my black pen that I used for all the details to frame it, or I would cut the white cardstock a little bit down to like 11.5 inches and then mat it on a big 12 by 12. The reason I didn't do this here yet, I mean the outlining, is because it's very hard to take completely straight photos of layouts sometimes, especially this one, because I did use mixed media without gesso on the background. It did warp a little bit, not like the whole paper is just a little bit curled, but it didn't really like buckle or anything like that. But that just makes it a little bit harder to stick completely flat down and take a photo, and that's why I didn't outline it. But I do think outlining a layout, especially when you have like all this white cardstock, it helps to frame it. It looks more finished, and it kind of keeps the viewer's eye on the layout instead of just like running off the edge with those patterns that we have. So just adding a few more bits and pieces, and that's it. This came together super fast. Really, the longest time was drying time, but other than that, it was really fast. So here are some close-ups. How cute are these bats, right? They are just too cute. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you feel inspired to try something similar. I will see you in my next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.